Hey guys, it's Gala. I wanted to come on real quick and just go over some changes that's happening right now in Quintana. That includes Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, Puerto Morales, and a couple other cities. So since today's what, the 26th? So since yesterday, we have gone back into orange. That means a couple things have changed with beaches, clubs, supermarkets. So you probably want to watch this before you think about coming on vacation. If you're thinking of moving here during the pandemic, you know, that's a go. But if you're thinking of just coming on vacation, there's a ton of things that you probably want to consider before booking that flight, before hitting that confirm button. So let's go over a couple of the things that's changing since we're in orange right now. So if you're coming on vacation, one of the things that you want to do is, of course, head to a beach club or head to the beach. The beach is now closed at 10 p.m. Beach clubs, so there's no late night partying. Restaurants are closed around 11, 12-ish, it just depends. But being closed at 12 also, or 11, the occupancy rate is now at 30%. So right now we're at 60. So the restaurants are at 30%. I haven't gone down because it started yesterday, so I haven't left the house yet to see, you know, if any changes at all. But for right now, 30% in restaurants, and the cops are definitely out because they're setting up roadblocks. That's another thing. They're setting up roadblocks and checkpoints to, you know, stop you, check your papers. So if you're here staying over your limit or whatever, which is never recommended, you have to, you know, stay within the limit that they give you. They're checking all of that. Taxis, 3 people maximum, including the driver. So only 2 people can be in the taxi at the same time, 2 passengers with the driver. So that's the limit. So that's another thing they're checking for. So that's that's a little bit hard on, you know, people like me. I have 2 kids and me, and then the taxi, which is another reason I'm so happy that I live where I do, because I can walk to just about every single thing that I need. So I don't need to take a taxi right now. But yeah, so they're setting up checkpoints to check the taxis, the cars, and things like that. So you have to be mindful of that. And they do not play to give you fines. Like, they'll fine you. They'll just fine you whatever. And it's not, you know, there's not an amount that says, okay, they'll fine you 500 pesos if you do this. They'll just make up a number and that is what it is. You just have to pay it or they'll haul you off to jail. Another thing is jungle parties are illegal. And those have been illegal, but places like Tulum, they kept having parties all the time. At one point they did something like a Burning Man in Tulum, in the jungle. Why? Like, I'm not, you know, trying to judge, or, well, I am a little bit trying to judge you if you're going to a jungle party, like a Burning Man party in the middle of a pandemic in the jungle that's banned, and then police, you know, come and they start raiding. Probably shouldn't be going to an illegal party. But anyway, those are illegal, and they made sure to state that, so I'm sure they're going to be mandating that a little bit more. In your house, yes, in your house, limit of 5 for a gathering or a party. So like us, we are 3 people. Don't ask me how they know. You're 3 people. I could only have 2 friends over. You can't have more than 5 people at a house party or a house dinner or get together, whatever you're trying to do, because they're trying to stop these big parties that's been happening. and trying to get people to stay safe and, you know, not congregate in large gatherings or whatever. So I mean, if you have like 10 cars parked on your street and they see people going in, your neighbors can report you, and the police will come. They'll, you know, shut it down. They'll find the person that's throwing the party. Again, I don't know how much they're going to charge. They're just going to charge you something. So that's another thing. No, so they're pretty much just saying no gathering or parties or whatever. I don't know what happens if you have 10 people in your house. I mean, if you live with 10 people, you know, you live with 10 people. It is what it is, but you can't be having a whole party over here during a pandemic. So that's one of the rules also when we're in Orange. And I'll leave the link below to the blog where you can see, you know, all the rules or all the changes. Again, how much this is going to be enforced, I'm not sure, because we were in yellow. Certain things were, you know, there were certain restrictions. I didn't see the restrictions being upheld. Like mask, they did say you have to wear a mask. I think once when I was walking, I saw somebody without a mask and the cops were on the street. It was on 5th and they told them to put the mask on. But that was it. But now we're in Orange, I'm thinking they're going to take it more seriously and tell you, put your mask on. So you have to wear a mask outside. You don't, you know, if you're in the sea or sitting by the beach, stuff like that, you don't have to put the mask on. You have to put the mask on to go into the restaurant. Once you're there, you take it off. But masks are required. And yes, they will fine you if they see you without a mask. They don't, you know, you might get away. You might, oh, well, I walked and I didn't get fined. Yeah, one time. Try it again for the entire time and a cop sees you, they'll fine you. Or arrest you, so, you know, pick or choose. Unless a restaurant or a beach club has a special permit, there's no DJs that can be present on the spot. So, you know, a party in certain restaurants or whatever, if you're gonna have a DJ, you know, sometimes you want to do something and you're like, okay, let me do a brunch and hire a little DJ to come in. You can't. So there's no DJs unless the restaurant or the beach club has a special permit. Another thing to consider, starting yesterday, the 25th, the US now requires everyone to get tested before entering the US. So you have to test negative before going back home. So that's another thing you have to think about when you're leaving. You know, a 4-day vacation is not really going to be possible, or I wouldn't recommend it. But the, you know, the upside, because the Caribbean, Mexico, they're trying to keep the tourist business coming in because, you know, they live off tourists mainly. A lot of resorts are now offering testing. So when you're booking, check with your resort. Normally, I'm sure they're going to put it up on the websites and everything right now. Check the mother resort. So if you're doing Baji Principe or something like that, they have one in Mexico, in Tulum. They have one in Jamaica. I stayed at that one. So check with their main page and see what they're offering. I know a lot of the resorts now started offering free COVID tests, or it's super discounted. So that's, you know, a good thing. You just have to put that in your schedule, put that in when you're coming. And you have to also consider or take into consideration if you test positive. We know there's false positive, false negative, whatever. Or if you just happen to, you know, catch COVID while you're here, you're going to have to quarantine for however long it is. So you have to think about that. If your test comes back positive, what are you going to do? You know? So what the resorts are doing also is giving you free or heavily discounted stays. So they will let you stay for free during your quarantine or super discounted. But the thing is, if you're trying to go back to work or something, then, you know, that's not going to happen. So like I said, I wouldn't recommend just for a vacation because anything could happen and then you're stuck and you can't go back to work. Now, if you work from home or, you know, you're not working at all or something and you don't mind staying or spending the extra money to stay another 14 days to quarantine until you get back another negative test or something, then. So I'm just giving you all the info. Like, it's a lot to think. You have to think about where are you gonna stay? Are they doing tests there? What if my test comes back positive? What do I do then? You know, did I leave my kids in the US? Who's gonna keep my kids if I test positive and have to quarantine? So you have to put all of those, and of course, always, 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 you guys have travel insurance. Honestly, like, do not go anywhere without travel insurance, especially during COVID. Like, I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. Always have insurance. If you're traveling as a digital nomad, I'll leave the link to the insurance that we use for our travels. We haven't had any issues to use it, so I couldn't tell you, you know, the ease or whatever of putting in a claim. But all the reviews have been super awesome, so I'm not worried about that. But thank God, knock on wood, you know, we haven't had to use it yet. Okay, so those are the restrictions. Oh, I forgot. Stores. Someone already posted that Walmart is limiting again to 1 person per family. So I need to go grocery shopping today. I think I'm just gonna go by myself. I'm gonna go to Mega Soriana. I'm not gonna try Walmart, but I think I'm just gonna go Mega by myself just in case they're limiting to 1 person. Because then, you know, I'm not gonna leave the kids outside or whatever to stand until I finish shopping. So that's a little bit rough, especially if you have younger kids living here or just staying. And you know, a lot of times we go on vacation, you just run to the supermarket or whatever, you have a couple of you. Going one by one, act like you don't know each other. I don't know. But if you have kids, it's harder because it is 1 per family and they are super strict with that. So I'm going to try and see, and I'll let you know in the description or something, or maybe just come back real quick and let you know if they did limit or if I saw them limiting. So that's the next thing with the grocery stores. And like I told you in one of my first videos when I just got here back in December, I went to 7-Eleven and they limited us to 1 per family. And we were in yellow. So I'm just assuming orange is going to be, they are going to take it more seriously because these stores can be fined. And, you know, they're already suffering, so they're not trying to pay a fine or get in trouble with the authorities. Yeah, so that's what's going on right now in Mexico. So like I said, you know, travel at your own risk. I really wish this thing would go away. I wish it stopped. I just feel like we should have done all of this earlier. Like, you know, the US testing to come in or quarantine, and that should have been done like the first month or 2 months we heard about it. It is what it is now at this point. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to stop it or we're going to slow it. I just think it's just out of control right now, and it just is what it is. It sucks. Like, I stayed home that entire year. All of 2020, almost all of 2020, I didn't do anything. I didn't even see, you know, I saw the sun because I was working, but that was it. Like, I did my part. And it just, I don't think it did anything because, you know, here we are another year and we're still pretty much where we were last year at this time. So my card was full. It cut me off right there. I don't remember what I was saying, but that is it for now, you guys. Yeah, so like I was saying, just come at your own risk. I think that's what we've been doing all year. It's just, you know, your entire life is do it at your own risk, but that's the thing. Those are a couple of things that you have to take in consideration before booking that flight, hitting that confirmation button on your hotel. Check it out, do your due diligence, DD, and then, you know, see if it makes sense for you. Hopefully, you know, I don't even know, because hopefully things change soon. Hopefully we get back to normal, or whatever normal is going to be after this. Hopefully we can start traveling, moving around, hugging people. You know, I'm just going to be walking and hugging everybody. And just, you know, living life again. Alright guys, I will talk to you in the next video.